Sean Grayson. Sean Grayson has been accused of taking the life in one of the most brutal ways known to man, of the life of Sonia Massey on July the 6th, 2024. Sean Grayson is a former deputy sheriff in Sangamon County who responded to the home of Sonia Massey in the early morning of July 6, 2024. Sean Grayson and his former partner, Dawson Farley, responded to a 911 call placed by Sonia Massey. And when they arrived, it began to be cordial, and then somehow, someway, it escalated, and it ended with Sean Grayson brandishing his weapon, stating that he was going to aim his weapon at her beautiful face and discharge it. Sean Grayson, within moments, did just that. Now, I already did day 3 of his trial. His trial or his fate will be known. Now, as I said, this justice system, he could very well walk, but at least the world, the jury, the courtroom saw exactly what he did and what he did not do. Now, in my next video, I will present to you what some of you may find absolutely deplorable. He was heard on video, audio, that he wasn't going to waste his medic bag, even though his partner, Dawson Farley, attempted to stop the bleeding of the wound sustained by Sonia Massey from the actions, the questionable actions of Sean Grayson. But I'm going to give you a preview for those of you that may not know that testimony has shown that because medical aid was not rendered, there was a possibility, again, we have to be clear on words, there was a possibility that had aid been rendered properly and timely, the life of Sonia Massey could have been saved. Let me remind you of what a superior stated to Sean Grayson. "7 months on, how are you still employed by us?" Others will say that you have no integrity and you are lying. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's been shown, if you do your research, But Sean Grayson was sloppy, didn't follow procedures, failed to complete tests that a police officer should have done. And finally, and what I find most damning, if we can't trust what you say, and we can't trust what you see, we can't have you in our uniform. It is my opinion that Sean Grayson should have never been hired by Sangamon County, with his troubling background to include being discharged from military service with charges, and I'll say allegedly, to be prudent and responsible. DUI, I believe there were 2 of them. The awful and cruel things that he said to Sonia Massey. Yes, she had mental health issues. But Sean Grayson, it seems to me, with your actions, you may have had some issues too, a lot deeper. Again, Sean Grayson is on trial for taking the life of Sonia Massey, July the 6th, 2024. Will justice be served? That's up to the system. We never know. But despite what the men and women of the jury may say, what the judge may say, what the prosecution may say, what the defense may say, there's always someone high above, and that is the Creator, the Most High, who renders final judgment. Again, a reminder of Sean Grayson's troubling past. Again, this is from a chief deputy to former deputy sheriff of Sangamon County, Sean Grayson. And Sean Grayson is being asked, 7 months on, how are you still employed by us? Again, this is from a chief deputy who's asking. Others will say that you have no integrity and you're lying. Integrity and lying as it relates to a law enforcement officer, they should never be in a sentence together. Absolutely not, because law enforcement officers or any capacity of law enforcement, you are in a position of public trust. And lastly, if we cannot trust what you say and what you see, we can't have you in our uniform. Keep in mind, within a 4-year time span, Sean Grayson bounced around different police agencies for employment. And it is my belief, and again, this is my belief, that he was hired by Sangamon County because someone knew someone who knew someone. Stay tuned as the trial of Sean Grayson continues tomorrow, Monday, October the 27th, 2025 in Peoria, Illinois.